our 9th month in Latin actually equal a 7? Why does the 10th month, October, in Latin would be octo, which is an 8? November is a 9. December, decem, is a 10. Why? Because we've been frickin' brainwashed. That's why. But it's time to ask the questions. Over 5,000 years, folks, the indigenous cultures of India, China, Egypt, the Mayans, the Incas, even our Native Americans used what? A 13-month, 28-day calendar. That's right. This calendar is harmonious. This is a harmonious calendar. This is heartfelt. It's the only one that makes sense. Why? Well, we have a 13-moon cycle every year. A woman's cycle is every 28 days. So let's assume December really is the 10th month, because it is. Then January and February are the 11th and 12th, because they are. Therefore, March would be what? The 13th month. If March is the 13th month, and we have 28 days, there's 364 days in a year. Well, that's pretty simple. And then guess what? Every year we would have a day of renewal. One day. That would be the day out of time. And the next day would be April 1st. Interesting enough, April 1st has been celebrated as New Year's for centuries in Europe. But they get harassed by people that call them April Fools. Why? Because they were indoctrinated under the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar. That's right. The last 3 major changes to the calendar have all been from the Roman Empire and the Catholic Church. That's who has gotten us off of the 13-month calendar, the harmonious calendar. I'm sorry, when do flowers bloom? They bloom in spring. Then what the hell are we celebrating New Year's in the middle of winter? It doesn't make sense. So April 1st to me is the new year, right? You can dispute it a couple days forward, a couple days back, but we know that's where it is. Even the shepherds that were moving sheep on the way to Bethlehem, we're doing that in the spring or fall because they don't move them in the dead of winter. So Jesus' birthday was wrong too. It's not December 25th. Oh, but you know what it is? That happens to be the pagan celebration of Saturnalia. Oh, did I say that? It's crazy talk, right? Guys, it's time for us to ask questions. We need to ask these questions. We have been duped for a long time. A long, long time. 13 months, 28-day calendar. I know I've been harping on it for years. We can make this change. I do know, though, one of the last famous people that tried to make this change was the founder of Kodak, Eastman Kodak himself, and he was killed within 1 year of trying to force this change. I don't think we're going to get that type of pushback, but it's time to bring it back to what God has intended, a harmonious, simple, and an abundant life with a beautiful calendar.
February is not the real New Year's. The Bible says, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you." The month that it's talking about is the month of Abib. And how do we know that? Because in another chapter it says, "Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night." So coming back to this first verse that I read, the verse above it is talking about how Moses and Aaron came out of the land of Egypt. And just to give you the context, this whole chapter is talking about the Passover and when God brought them out of Egypt. And it all happened in the month of Abib. And even when you Google it, it'll tell you that the month of Abib is in the month of March or April. And it means ear of corn or green ears of grain. So it's in the springtime, which is the rebirth time. Everything dies in the winter time and then everything starts to grow back in the springtime. It's the rebirth. But I guess the reason why they want us celebrating the New Year's in January is because there's a pagan god that goes by the name of Janus, which, the month of January is named after this god. and they want us worshiping this God without us even knowing it. So when we are celebrating the New Year's in January, we are actually worshiping this God by the name of Janus.
Gregorian calendar was designed to cut off our connection to the real concept of time, and it actually makes no sense at all. It is an invention by Pope Gregory XIII to make people remember when to pay taxes. The very word calendar comes from calens, an ancient term which means account book. Plus, the months in our calendar make no sense at all. March, for example, is named after Mars, who is the god of war. July and August are named after Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar, who decided they deserve months too. And Augustus even stole a day from February just to make his month longer. And have you ever noticed that September, October, November, and December don't make any sense in their placement of the year, since Septem means 7, not 9, Octo means 8, not 10, Novem means 9, and Decem means 10, so it's complete chaos. And this disconnected system, this irregular measure of time, is part of why our world feels so out of sync. It is built on an artificial 1260 time frequency, a cycle of 12 uneven months, paced by a mechanical 60-minute clock. This disconnects us from the natural rhythms of life, leaving us feeling like there's never enough time, constantly chasing after a clock that never aligns with our true nature. But there's a solution that I just found out about recently. A calendar that is harmonious and in tune with the cosmos, that has been used by many ancient cultures, specifically the Mayans. And this calendar is the 13-moon calendar. The 13-moon calendar is based on the natural cycles of the moon and the cosmos. It's not just another way to track time, it's a profound tool to know what specific potential a day, a week, a month holds, and how we could use it to make our lives more effortless and, most importantly, exciting and meaningful. So this calendar consists of 13 months, each 28 days long, because it's perfectly reflecting the moon's orbit around the Earth. Every day in this calendar has a specific quality and meaning known as a galactic signature. It's a unique mantra that changes according to the day, and you can speak it to tune yourself to the energies of the universe. And